Best comment gets pinned. Good luck.
Pokimane's cookie company, I don't think they're still in business.
So I personally don't really like these.
Which had the exact same nutritional values as...
So the cookie business that is selling overpriced Oreos didn't actually do very well.
Pokimane cookies, which she released in late 2023, and I think I've uncovered something. I think this company secretly went out of business, but they don't want people to know, because obviously that would be a big deal.
𝗽cie𝗸𝗶𝗺, Pokimane, might be facing some real heat right now. According to YouTuber 𝗽cie𝗸𝗶𝗺, her cookie business is rumored to be shutting down, and people online are already talking wild about it. He claims the so-called broke boys didn't show up to buy the cookies, and that sparked even more chatter. Scott says he reached out directly to Pokimane and her company for a statement, and he's questioning why the websites are somehow still live. Aspen jumped into the mess and looked way too entertained by the chaos.
I've been coming here since mid-October because people have requested me to try this, and every time I go here, they're always sold out. Amazon listing, where it's also sold out, completely sold out as well.
That right there is a massive red flag, no way around it. It's Christmas season, the holidays, the absolute golden hour for selling cookies. This is the exact time when people are actively hunting for sweet treats, gifts, and overpriced snacks they don't even need. And let's be real, this would be the perfect moment to crank up the prices like Poki is known for doing, right? But instead of big holiday promos, there's barely any marketing, and everything is magically out of stock all the time. So what's the real story here? The obvious takeaway isn't that the company collapsed, but that Pokimane's cookies are supposedly too popular to keep on shelves. That's the narrative being pushed, and people online are definitely raising eyebrows over it. So apparently, you can't buy the cookies because they're just that amazing, right? They sell out instantly the second they restock. At least that's the story being pushed. We're told they're too popular, and that's exactly what she wants everyone to believe.
Let's try. Maybe we should have kept the gluten in this one. It's like dust. It's like eating dust.
But let's not forget when 𝗽cie𝗸𝗶𝗺 reviewed those cookies not too long ago, and people said the results were straight up tragic. That review didn't scream premium or viral hit, it raised some serious questions. That's why the situation feels shady as hell. It makes you wonder what actually happened behind the scenes and why the business supposedly disappeared. So Scott went ahead and reached out to Pokimane directly to see if she had anything to say about it. And honestly, the whole thing looked obvious from the jump. People felt it was just a rebrand with the prices blasted through the roof. When customers complained, critics say she talked down to them, calling them broke boys and defending tiny portions like it was a luxury product.
If you're a broke boy, just say so.
Folks online weren't mad for no reason. They felt burned by something that didn't live up to the hype at all. And honestly, this doesn't look like a smart business move at all. It looks like instant karma playing out in real time. The same company throwing shade at customers is now the one struggling, and people are noticing. It's almost like disrespecting the very people who buy your product is a terrible strategy, right? When you clown your own consumer base, don't be shocked when they walk away. Maybe instead of flexing ego, the move would have been to actually focus on making a solid product. Instead, critics say it felt like a rushed cash grab, slapping a famous name on something mid and charging premium prices, even though she's already a multi-millionaire. People online are asking why the greed was even necessary. Then came the justification for the high prices, claiming the cookies are natural and healthy. But let's be real, nobody buys cookies thinking they're health food. That excuse didn't land with viewers at all. Scott then breaks down why the websites might still be live, showing everything labeled out of stock, which only adds more confusion and suspicion to the whole situation. I'm not buying the whole random restock issues excuse at all. That explanation feels weak, especially when a lot of people online don't believe there was huge demand to begin with. There's serious doubt that the cookies were ever flying off the shelves like that. And honestly, it wouldn't shock anyone if some of the early reviews came from people who were incentivized, gifted products, or connected through streaming circles. Not saying that is what happened, but people are definitely questioning how organic those positive reactions really were. What really stands out is that creators who reviewed the cookies on their own, without hype or friendship involved, didn't seem impressed at all. The feedback across the board was rough, and that pattern raised eyebrows fast. So the big question still hangs in the air. Do we actually know for sure that the company is shut down? Not officially, but when you stack all the signs together, everything seems to point in one direction. And it honestly wouldn't be surprising if she's trying to quietly move on and let the whole thing fade out without a big announcement. So she keeps landing sponsorships and stays positioned as this trusted creator who can sell pretty much any product she puts a name on. But at this point, the cat is out of the bag. People are connecting the dots and realizing that this business clearly didn't perform the way it was hyped up to be. When you can't move cookies, something almost everyone enjoys, especially during the holiday season, that's not a small miss, that's a loud signal.
The more you look into this, the more it seems like this company isn't actually in business.
People digging deeper check the Amazon listings and notice something interesting. Several products stopped showing as in stock way back in September, with some of the larger bundles disappearing even earlier. That timeline doesn't scream sudden success. It looks more like a slow fade. This also highlights how out of touch some big streamers can be. The market already spoke. When customers said the prices were too high, that was the moment to adjust. Instead, the feedback got brushed off, and critics felt mocked rather than heard. What really turned heads is that her name and face, once plastered all over the website, are now completely gone. And then came the comparison that set the internet off. Costco sells midnight mini cookies with nearly identical nutritional values. Those cost about $10 for 14 ounces, while Pokimane's cookies were around $28 for 16 ounces. That contrast alone made people question everything. That's how the cookies crumble. If the business is done, just be upfront and say it instead of playing games and dodging the obvious. Now we're moving into more Poki-adjacent drama, and this one caught a lot of people off guard. Creator 𝗽cie𝗶𝗺 recently spoke out about a guy named 𝗽cie, accusing him of being a bad boyfriend and calling out some serious behavior that rubbed people the wrong way. That alone had the timeline buzzing. What really raised eyebrows is that Pokimane was apparently still friendly with 𝗽cie during all of this. People online started speculating, throwing around rumors about possible roommates or close ties, and things spiraled fast. Because of that noise, Pokimane finally stepped in to respond. She came out to clarify her living situation and address the 𝗽cie situation directly, starting her statement with, "Hi everyone." And yeah, people were definitely paying attention. "I wanted to clarify my living situation to serve as a confusion. I rented a room in another apartment to be closer to friends and have a setup to do group streams or collabs. At the time, my friends who lived with 𝗽cie before mentioned he needed a roommate, and that's how the arrangement came to be. I was rarely there to begin with, never stayed over, and had my own apartment. A couple months ago, after 𝗽cie spoke to me about her experience, I stopped going back to the apartment and stopped making duo content with 𝗽cie out of respect and consideration for her. Others saw the document then as well, and I distanced myself because that's what felt right to me. I since spoken to 𝗽cie privately and apologized, so she knows I took what she said seriously." Wait, what does that even mean? If you truly distance yourself, why is there an apology involved at all? That's where people got confused. Critics are pointing out that she says she stepped back, but the actions don't fully line up. And that contradiction is what's making everyone question the explanation. I've also decided to move out, and that's what makes me most comfortable. I hope this clarifies the timeline and my involvement. Thanks. At this point, people are just confused. Pokimane also started talking again about streaming being male-dominated, pointing to huge creators like 𝗽cije𝗶𝗵 and 𝗽cie𝗸𝗏 sitting at the top of the charts. That comment instantly lit up the conversation.
Many huge female streamers, at least not 𝗫 and Aiden and Speed's level. Yeah, because they're not that entertaining.
Not long after, Asmongold jumped in and went on a full rant responding to her claim that the streaming space is becoming more male-heavy. He pushed back hard, saying the real issue isn't gender, it's output, effort, and creativity. The argument was simple. Nobody is blocking women from becoming massive creators. If someone wants to be the next 𝗽cije𝗶𝗵, what's stopping them? Go travel, run high-production streams, take risks, and build something people want to watch. Viewers care about entertainment, not labels. The top creators right now happen to be men, but that could flip at any time, and it has before.
And I don't even know what else to say about it beyond that. It's just so fucking retarded. So sad.
A lot of people online echoed that sentiment. They said focusing on talent and content makes more sense than turning everything into a gender debate. According to critics, framing it that way just feels unnecessary and forced. The bottom line people keep repeating is this: anyone can win in this space. Success isn't locked behind gender or identity. And plenty of viewers are tired of hearing complaints instead of seeing bold moves and better content. And this is where the whole situation really lands for a lot of viewers. The audience isn't mad about opinions. They're annoyed by the constant deflecting.
Instead of owning bad business moves, failed products, or poor feedback, everything keeps getting spun into a bigger narrative that avoids responsibility. That's what people are reacting to. The internet doesn't care about excuses, it reacts to results. When fans feel talked down to, ignored, or brushed off, they don't forget it. And once trust starts cracking, doesn't matter how big your platform is, the numbers will tell the truth. Right now, the common sentiment is simple. If something didn't work, say it. If a product flopped, learn from it. People respect honesty way more than damage control and dodging questions. And that's the part that's sticking with everyone watching this. And that's where this whole situation wraps up. From 𝗽cie𝗸𝗶𝗺 to streamer drama, it's been one messy trail of bad decisions, weak excuses, and people finally calling it out. Whether you agree or disagree, one thing is clear. The internet is done buying the story being sold. Now, I want to hear your take. Do you think this was all blown out of proportion, or do people see through it for a reason? Drop your thoughts in the comments. If you enjoyed this breakdown, make sure to like, subscribe, share this video, and stay tapped in for more updates like this. You already know more is coming.